This reminds me of the Via Ferrata we did in West Virginia, except without any safety measures like a harness or the leashes or anything that made us feel safe. Yesterday we explored part of Acadia National Park for the first time. We caught the sunrise from the top of Cadillac Mountain, hiked a couple gorgeous trails, and ate the famous popovers at Jordan Pond House.
And for our final day in the park, we're going to hike more trails, explore Bar Harbor, and experience coastal views, and we're starting with a pretty intense hike on the Precipice Trail.
There are 4 iron rung hikes here in the park which have ladders, narrow ledges, and other challenging features, and yesterday we did the Beach Cliffs Trail, which is probably the easiest of them all, and today we are conquering the Precipice Trail, which we hear is the most challenging, most thrilling, and most exposed. Sorry in advance, Mom.
Made it to our first set of rungs. These are little baby warm-up ones though.
This isn't like a ladder of rungs. This kind of look like you have to move your body in weird way kind of rungs.
Yeah.
All right, let the adventure begin.
Let's do it. We're scaling that wall. You get to climb under these massive boulders.
I will say, this hike is not for those with a fear of heights, but also for those with a fear of tight spaces. All right, we just made it onto the main trail. So this hike is a loop, and the part we were just on will actually be going down as well. So I think that means that the next part of the trail is gonna be significantly harder. So that was just the warm up. Get the adrenaline pumping a little bit. This hike really stretches out your legs.
All right, we've made it to the first section that looks just straight up vertical with multiple levels. I know we keep saying the real fun's gonna begin, but right now the real fun begins. Lots of
rungs,
yeah,
like a ladder to the top.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the Via Ferrata we did in West Virginia, except without any safety measures like a harness or the leashes or anything that made us feel safe.
Just
yourself, your body and confidence. part's definitely making me nervous. These turns are tricky.
Yeah, don't always know what to do.
Oh, I'm kind of scared now.
Stand up and grab it kind of at the same time. There you go. There you go.
Okay. You got this. I got this. We are almost to the top. Oh, and it's so cold and windy. Yeah. We think the hardest part is over, but check out these sick views.
Amazing.
We've had views almost the entire hike, which has made it even better.
Made it even more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Take your mind off of the scary exposure a bit.
Yeah. Well, we took a wrong turn on the trail and are now walking along Park Loop Road on accident. There were a few people in front of us and they all just kept going straight, so we did too, and we thought we were going the right way, but that's okay. This will get us back there. We just have to walk along the road, which right now there's a shoulder. We'll see if that continues. So this junction is where we went wrong. There was a sign that said orange and black path to the loop road straight. We didn't see a sign for the right side, and since we knew we needed to be on the orange and black path or the trail, we just kept going straight, but I guess there was a trail to the right that was the real one we were supposed to be on. That's okay. To be honest, this means we don't have to do any more like scrambling or climbing down rungs, which would be really hard with two-way traffic, so kind of worked out for the best. We made it back to the van in one piece, safe and sound, and to be honest, it's kind of shocking that they have this trail in a national park and just let anyone do it without any safety measures, because it could be really dangerous if you're not careful, but we had a blast. We thought it was so fun.
Yeah, it was just so much fun. If you have a little bit of a fear of heights, it might not be for you. We have a slight little fear of heights in different ways, but if you just go slow, concentrate on what you're doing, you'll make it through just fine.
We think the Via Ferrata we did in West Virginia significantly helped us on this experience because we only felt nervous a couple times, and I think it's because we had done something more intense and like this in the future. But if you want to do one of these iron rung trails and you think this one might be too intense for you, there is one called the Beehive Trail, which is a little bit shorter, and we hear it's a little bit less exposed, and it's kind of like one level down from this one. So that could be a good starting point, and then you can conquer this one. But yeah, such a unique, fun hike. Thrilling, got the
adrenaline pumping. It's a full-on, full activity. You get to use all fours. I don't know what we're doing here. You get to use all fours, and it was,
highly recommended.
Yeah.
For our final hikes at Acadia, we're at the Sand Beach area of the park, and holy cow, this area is very, very busy. One important thing to know about driving in this area is that it's a one-way, so if you see a parking spot, take it, because you cannot just be looping around and circling. You have to just keep going, and you'll have a really long detour if you pass up a spot. We ended up parking on the side of the road with a bunch of other vehicles because it's just very, very packed here. And for our hike, we're combining the Great Head, Ocean Path, and Gorham Mountain trails to make kind of a 5-ish mile loop.
Kona's new thing over the last few months, with the Great Lakes and all that, she loves the water and the waves crashing on the shoreline. She just cries and cries until you let her go in it. But she still does the eating thing. She'll bite at the waves, and I think she's quickly learning that the ocean is a little different than the lake water. Not as tasty.
The water is so blue and contrasted with the fall colors. So gorgeous.
We're about halfway through this Great Head Loop Trail, and there are tons of little overlooks that you can hop out and get great views of the ocean. And since you're going around the edge of this, like in a circle, each view is a little bit different from the last.
And despite how busy the parking area was, we shockingly have not seen that many people on this hike.
For the next part of our hike, we are taking the Ocean Path, which goes along the Park Loop Road, so you could drive this to get to some of these spots, but we are taking the path to a spot called Thunder Hole. We made it to Thunder Hole, which is basically a cave that's been carved underneath this ledge that's behind me, and so that fills with air, and then when water rushes in, it creates a loud boom, and then the water sprays all over the place. The best time to see it is 2 hours before high tide, but unfortunately we're not here at the right time.
I don't think there's a bad view in this park. Every single hike we have done has just blown me away with all of the views.
We're almost back to the van after completing our mega loop. That was a great combo of hikes, and like Kathryn said earlier, you cannot go wrong on the hikes here. It is gorgeous everywhere.
We've headed just outside of the park to Bar Harbor, which is the largest town on Mount Desert Island. It's located right on the water and has tons of shops and restaurants. And just like most towns we've been to in New England, it is super cute.
The top place we wanted to visit here in Bar Harbor is Mount Desert Ice Cream and Small Batch Homemade Ice Cream, which is our kind of ice cream place. And we got 1, 2, 3 scoops of ice cream each.
So we both got the exact same thing because they just sounded so good together. So the bottom one is pumpkin because it's fall. The middle one is butterscotch miso, which sounded really, really good. The top one is maple pecan. The maple pecan is so good. It has a really good maple flavor. That's crunch of the pecans, that nice nutty flavor.
The only downside is you hold it with your hand is freezing off.
Everyone in town's walking around with hot drinks, but it's never not ice cream weather for us.
All right, on to flavor number 2, the butterscotch miso. I'm not gonna lie, I'm shivering right now. The butterscotch miso is even sweeter than the maple pecan, just by a little bit. You can definitely taste that butterscotch in there, and then a little bit of the tang of the miso, which is apparently we read is fermented soy, so I guess it's a little bit of a tang to it. Oh, it is such a good combo. A little sweet, little salty, little tang. All right, on to the pumpkin with a little miso in there. That's okay. That is straight up pumpkin pie ice cream. There's so much fall spices in there, if you can hear my shivering.
I know the camera's shaking so bad. Maybe we should have done hot chocolate.
Yeah. It's so cold. We're normally freaking out because it's so hot and it's melting. Now we're like gonna turn into ice cubes.
We clearly can't ever eat ice cream without a problem.
Yeah. Oh, that pumpkin one is so good though. It's like look at it. It's like almost like battery.
It literally looks like pumpkin pie batter.
Yeah.
And that is a wrap on Acadia National Park. We've said this before, but we've been looking forward to coming here for years, and it was totally worth the wait. It's definitely in our top 10 national parks, maybe even top 5. We actually don't really have a written list, but we'd have to reevaluate and figure it out, but it's up there for sure.
But our time in Maine is not over with yet. Next up, we're gonna head to Portland, Maine for a couple more fun adventures.
One rhymes with Bobsta. Adam thinks we should lie to you and tell you we only got 1 ice cream, but y'all would know better than that. So we ended up having to park on the side of the road because the parking lot looked full. And what else?
Bye,